Life, with all its twists and turns, isn't always a path we can predict. It's full of beautiful moments, moments that make us feel alive, and yet it's also filled with pain, with trials that test our strength. There are days when you wake up, and the weight of everything seems too much to bear. The people who said they'd be there may have left, dreams may have crumbled, and it's tempting to feel like the world has turned against you. But even in those dark moments, you are still here, still fighting. And that, in itself, is a powerful act of love for yourself. When you face these storms, remember that they are not a reflection of your worth. Pain does not define you. Failure does not define you. There is a resilience in you, one that you may not even recognize yet. A quiet strength waiting to carry you through. Each time life brings you to your knees, it's asking you to discover that strength, to dig deep and rise, even when it feels impossible. Love is one of the greatest gifts, yet it can also be one of the heaviest burdens. Loving fully opens you to both joy and sorrow. Sometimes, the people we hold closest can hurt us the most. It's easy to close yourself off, to protect your heart from the world, but in doing so, you miss out on the beauty love brings. So even when love brings pain, when it disappoints you, remember that the courage to love is a gift you give yourself, a reminder that you are capable of feeling deeply, of being vulnerable. Every time you stumble, every tear you shed, you are growing. You are learning what it means to be human, to be imperfect, and to carry on despite everything. Each scar, visible or invisible, tells a story of survival, of battles you faced and came through. These marks are not blemishes. They are testaments to your strength. Wear them with pride, for they tell the world, I am still here, I am still fighting. Sometimes, it feels like nobody understands the depths of your struggle. You may look around and feel that everyone else is managing while you are barely hanging on. But know that you are not alone in feeling this way. Countless others walk similar paths, hidden behind smiles, carrying burdens that few see. Reach out when you need to. Let others in. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's a strength that unites us, reminding us that we're never truly alone. Forgive yourself for the times you fell short, for the mistakes you made. They are a part of your journey, shaping you into the person you are becoming. You are allowed to let go of the past. You don't have to carry it as a weight forever. Each day is a new chance, a blank page where you can write a new story. You have that power within you. Life may try to break you, to strip you of hope, but remember, you have a spirit that cannot be extinguished. It may flicker in the wind, but it will not go out. The more life challenges you, the brighter it will burn. And one day, you will look back on these moments, not as the times that broke you, but as the times that revealed your strength, your resilience, and your capacity to endure. Hold on to hope, even if it's just a glimmer. Hold on to love, even when it feels fragile. And hold on to yourself, always. You are worthy of happiness, of peace, of love. You are worthy of a life that feels right to you. And through every challenge, every heartbreak, remember that you are not just surviving, you are becoming. Each morning brings you a choice, to carry the burdens of yesterday or to rise anew. Sometimes, it's hard to let go, and the past clings to you, but you have the strength to choose how it shapes you. You are not defined by the trials you faced, but by how you face them now. Every moment you keep going, even when it's hard, you're proving your strength, and you're choosing to honor your own life, your own path. There will be days when you feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood. Those days hurt deeply, but let them remind you of your own value. You are enough as you are. Validation from others does not determine your worth. You are complex, multi-layered, and deserving of love and respect, even if it comes from within. Stand tall in who you are, and let your own acceptance be the foundation on which you build your life. In life, we sometimes lose people we thought would never have to live without. Their absence creates a hollow ache, a reminder of what was. But let that ache also remind you of the love that was shared, of the memories that were made. Their impact on your life is something you carry forward, and though they may be gone, the love they gave you lives on in you. Hold on to that love, let it guide you, and allow yourself to grow from it. Sometimes, pain feels like it will never end. The darkness feels all-consuming, but even in the depths, there's a light within you, however faint. That light is your hope, your resilience, and it will guide you out of the darkest nights. Trust that it's there, and when you're ready, let it lead you back to yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you are lost, for the mistakes you made. Those moments don't define you, they're merely parts of your story. You are allowed to learn from them, to grow, and become wiser. Self-forgiveness is an act of love, a way to set yourself free. Embrace your imperfections, for they make you human, and they make your journey real. The world may try to tell you who to be, but only you know the truth of your own soul. You are not here to fit into a mold, or to live up to others' expectations. You are here to be authentically you, to live your truth, no matter how different it may look to others. Your uniqueness is your power, and the world is brighter because of it. When you encounter obstacles, know they are not signs of your inability. They are invitations to grow, to become even more resilient. Let each challenge teach you something new about yourself. You are not defined by your successes or failures, but by your willingness to keep moving forward, to keep learning and growing. Love is not always easy. It requires patience, forgiveness, and an open heart. Love can heal, but it can also bring sorrow. Yet, it is one of the most beautiful parts of being alive. Let love fill your heart and let it guide your actions. Even when love brings pain, it also brings depth and meaning to life. Love is worth the risk, always. In moments of doubt, return to yourself. Find the quiet within, and remember who you are. Doubt will pass, but the essence of you remains. You are stronger than you think, and you have overcome so much already. Every scar, every heartbreak, every setback has made you wiser, more compassionate, more resilient. I used to think that I could heal, that time would somehow lessen the pain, soften the edges. But it doesn't. Time doesn't heal anything. It just teaches you to live with the hurt, to carry it like a weight on your shoulders. You get used to it, learn to hide it, but it never truly leaves. It becomes a part of you, shaping you in ways you can't undo. I've become someone I barely recognize, hardened by the loneliness, defined by the absence of those I once held close. And yet, in some twisted way, I've come to accept it. I wear this solitude like armor, a shield against the world that has betrayed me too many times. I don't need anyone. I don't need their hollow words, their empty promises. I'm stronger on my own, forged in the fires of heartbreak and disappointment. And if that means living in the shadows, so be it. At least here, in this darkness, I know who I am. I am the one who remains. As the days blend into nights, a certain numbness settles over me. It's a strange sensation, this feeling of being hollow, like a shell abandoned on the shore, bearing traces of something vibrant but now empty. I used to carry dreams with me, hopes and ambitions that sparkled like distant stars. But now, they feel like echoes from a life I barely remember. I watch those dreams drift further away, lost to the tides of time, yet somehow they still ache. It's as if every memory, every lingering image, refuses to fade. I still hear the laughter from times past, feel the warmth of shared moments, even as the reality around me grows colder. These memories, they cling to me, reminding me of what I once had and what I've lost. They play like an old film reel, unspooling scenes I've watched 1,000 times, each one sharper, more painful than the last. It's both a comfort and a curse to be haunted by what I once loved. I find myself reaching for that warmth, knowing full well it's gone. And in those moments, I'm reminded of how little control we truly have. We can pour ourselves into others, give them our trust, our love, our loyalty, but in the end, they're free to walk away, to leave us standing alone in the wreckage of what used to be. It's a sobering realization that no matter how deeply you feel, it's never enough to make someone stay. And so, I walk through each day as if I'm moving through a fog, each step heavy with the weight of unanswered questions. What was it that made them leave? Was it something I did, or something I failed to be? These thoughts spiral, unanswered and unanswerable, but they linger like a bruise that never fully heals. I try to shake them, to silence the doubts, but they follow me, a shadow that refuses to fade. In the quiet moments, I almost wish for a reprieve, for something to break this endless silence. But I know better. The world is indifferent to our suffering. It moves on, relentless and unyielding. People move on, memories fade, and in time, even the deepest scars become part of who we are. I've learned that lesson the hard way. I've learned to stand on my own, to find strength in my own solitude. But that strength is bittersweet, a testament to all the wounds I've endured. So, here I am, a survivor of my own story, carrying fragments of the person I once was. I've let go of the need to be understood, to be validated by those who never truly saw me. I no longer seek comfort in others. I find it in the silence, in the vast empty spaces where only my thoughts remain. There's a certain peace here, amidst the ruins, a quiet acceptance that maybe this is all I'll ever know. And in that acceptance, I find a strange resilience. I may be broken, shattered by the weight of all I've lost, but I'm still here. I've weathered the storms, endured the betrayals, and though I'm changed, I'm still standing. Each scar tells a story, each wound a reminder that I've survived. I carry my solitude like a banner, a reminder that I don't need anyone's permission to exist, to breathe, to feel. I am alone, yes, but there is strength in that solitude. In the quiet of my solitude, I find a strange comfort in the emptiness, an unspoken truce with myself. There is no longer a need to pretend, no pressure to hold up facades for anyone else's approval. The silence has become my only true companion, one that doesn't judge or question. It simply exists alongside me, an ever-present witness to the unfiltered, raw truths I rarely dare to face. Here, alone, I can finally drop the weight of expectations and see myself as I am. No embellishments, no excuses. There are days when the memories slip through the cracks, vivid as ever, haunting and yet, somehow, strangely beautiful. They remind me of the times I believed in the magic of connection, when I felt tethered to someone else in ways that seemed unbreakable. But life, as I've come to realize, has a way of testing those bonds, of exposing how fragile they truly are. Perhaps it's cruel, but I suppose there's also a sort of painful honesty to it. We're shown what remains once everything superficial is stripped away, and often, it's far less than we'd hoped. I think about the promises made, the words exchanged in hushed tones, each one laced with an unspoken trust. I replay the laughter, the brief glances, the silent moments that felt like eternity. Those memories, no matter how much I try, refuse to fade. They linger, haunting me with their bittersweet echoes, a reminder of a past that now feels more like a dream than reality. It's hard to know what to do with them. Do I hold them close, or do I let them drift, like leaves carried away by the wind? Sometimes, I wonder if I was too naive, if I placed my heart in hands that were never meant to hold it. Trusting, I realize now, is a leap of faith, one that demands vulnerability and openness. And yet, that same trust can leave us shattered when it's betrayed. I was left with pieces of myself that no longer fit together, fragments that bear scars of a love once cherished, now turned to dust. It's a wound that doesn't heal. It simply becomes part of who I am, woven into the fabric of my being. In the absence of those I once trusted, I find myself at a crossroads. Part of me longs for connection, for the warmth of companionship, for someone who might understand the quiet ache that lingers beneath my surface. But the other part of me, hardened, wary, reluctant to risk again, holds back, protective of what remains. It's a delicate balance, this dance between hope and caution, between the desire for connection and the need for self-preservation. Every day, I grapple with these conflicting desires, with the yearning for closeness and the fear of further loss. I wonder if it's possible to truly open myself again, to trust without the shadow of doubt looming over every interaction. But for now, I stay guarded, choosing solitude over the possibility of pain. It's a choice that brings both comfort and sorrow, a choice I make to shield myself from the risk of heartbreak once more. Yet, despite everything, there's a flicker of resilience that refuses to be extinguished. I may be alone, but in this solitude, I'm learning to find my own strength, to stand tall without leaning on anyone else. It's a process, a slow and painful journey, but each step brings me closer to a version of myself that is whole, even if scarred. I'm not defined by those who left, or by the memories that linger. I am shaped by my own will to keep moving forward, even when the path is uncertain. And so I walk forward, step by step, embracing the solitude, carrying the lessons of love and loss as both burdens and gifts. The silence that surrounds me is no longer my enemy. It's a space for reflection, for growth, for healing. It's where I rediscover pieces of myself that I'd forgotten, hidden beneath the layers of heartache. I am alone, yes, but I am not defeated. In time, I believe I'll find peace, even if that peace is built upon the remnants of what once was. There's a certain beauty in solitude, a quiet power that only those who have endured heartbreak can truly understand. I stand here, alone but unbroken, a testament to the strength that lies within. This journey may be painful, but it is mine, and for that, I am grateful. In the quiet aftermath of everything, there's a strange comfort that emerges from the emptiness, one that I never thought I'd find. It's like standing in the center of a storm that has finally passed, surrounded by silence and broken pieces. There's nothing left to fight, nothing left to lose. In the calm, I find myself with nothing but the remnants of what once was, and the daunting task of rebuilding from what remains. It's not the life I envisioned, but it's what I have, and somehow, that's enough. Every day, I wake up and confront a new layer of myself, one that's been hidden beneath years of wanting, of giving, of trusting others. Alone, I am forced to see myself clearly, with no one else's reflection to obscure my own. And while part of me aches for companionship, another part feels liberated by the simplicity of it. I have nothing to prove to anyone. I don't have to wear a mask, pretend to be something I'm not, or hold up someone else's dreams. There's a purity in the solitude that I've grown to appreciate. As the days stretch on, I notice small shifts within myself. The sorrow, once a tidal wave crashing over me, is now more of a quiet river flowing beneath the surface. It's still there, always present, but it no longer consumes me. Instead, it lingers like a faint shadow, a reminder of all I've endured. I can feel myself slowly adapting, adjusting to the loneliness and finding a strange peace within it. I am learning that I can exist in my own space and even find comfort in it. The nights, however, are the hardest. In the dark, memories come alive, vivid and relentless, haunting me with their familiar ache. I see faces, hear laughter, remember touches that felt so real, so permanent, and the emptiness intensifies. It's in these moments that I feel the weight of what I've lost most acutely. Yet, with each passing night, the memories grow a little softer, less sharp. They start to fade, like photographs left too long in the sun, edges blurring as the intensity fades. It's painful to let them go, but I know it's the only way to move forward. Through this journey, I'm beginning to understand the nature of resilience. Resilience isn't about remaining unbroken. It's about finding ways to live with the breaks. I realize that the scars left by love, by loss, by abandonment, have become part of who I am. They're etched into my soul, marking the moments that changed me, the people who shaped me, and the love that once made me whole. And as much as I might wish to erase the pain, I wouldn't trade these scars for anything. They are proof that I have lived, that I have loved deeply, that I have survived. In solitude, I confront questions I never dared to ask myself. Why did I place so much of my happiness in the hands of others? Why did I believe that someone else could complete me? These questions cut deep, exposing truths I wasn't ready to face. I realize now that I was looking for answers outside of myself when, all along, they were within me. I have been whole this entire time. I just didn't know how to see it. The emptiness I feel isn't a void that someone else can fill. It's a space for me to grow, to understand, to become. Slowly, I am redefining my idea of love. Love is not possession or dependency. It's a choice, a willingness to open oneself to the risk of pain, a hope of connection. I may have been hurt, but I haven't lost my capacity to love. If anything, the experience has deepened my understanding of it. I see now that love is about giving, not with the expectation of receiving, but because it is a reflection of who I am. And maybe, one day, I will choose to open my heart again, not because I need someone to complete me, but because I have so much to give. In this quiet, introspective phase of my life, I'm finding strength in places I never expected. The solitude has become a mirror, reflecting parts of myself I had forgotten. I remember the dreams I once had, the passions I let slip away, the aspirations I abandoned in pursuit of someone else's happiness. And now, I have the space, the time, and the freedom to rediscover them. It's like meeting myself for the first time, seeing parts of myself that were buried beneath layers of compromise and self-sacrifice. And so, each day, I take one small step forward. It's not always easy. Some days, I am overwhelmed by the weight of what I've lost, by the vastness of the empty spaces that once held love. But I'm learning to breathe through it, to let the ache wash over me without letting it drown me. I'm learning to sit with the discomfort, to let it shape me, to let it teach me. I know that this process, painful as it may be, is a necessary part of healing, of growth, of becoming whole again. Through it all, I hold on to a quiet hope, a hope that one day I will emerge from this solitude, not as a broken soul, but as someone stronger, wiser, and more complete. I have learned that I am enough on my own, that my worth is not tied to someone else, love, or validation. And in that knowledge, I find a freedom that I never knew existed. I may have walked this path of loneliness, of abandonment, but I have done so with grace, with resilience, with courage. I am not defined by the people who left. I am defined by the strength I found within myself. The journey is far from over, but for the first time, I am at peace with that. I no longer rush to fill the empty spaces or drown the silence with noise. I am learning to sit in the quiet, to find comfort in my own company, to embrace the person I am becoming. This solitude is not a punishment. It is a gift, an opportunity to grow, to heal, to rediscover who I am. And for that, I am grateful. The path forward is both uncertain and liberating. It feels like stepping into an empty room, with no directions, no noise, and nothing to distract me from my own thoughts. I know that facing these shadows alone is essential, though the silence is often deafening. There are moments when I feel the urge to reach out, to fill the void with familiar voices, with memories of past warmth, but I resist. I remind myself that this quiet is necessary, a part of me that needs nurturing without the weight of others' expectations. With each passing day, I become more aware of my resilience, a quiet strength that was always there, hidden beneath layers of worry and self-doubt. I am beginning to trust that I can navigate this journey, even if it feels endless at times. I don't need to fill every gap or resolve every lingering hurt right now. Healing, I am learning, is more like a slow unfolding than a quick fix. And in the process, I find myself drawn back to the things that once brought me joy. Things that once seemed trivial, but are now lifelines. I've started taking comfort in small routines. The warmth of a cup of tea in the morning, the gentle hum of my favorite music in the background, and the silence of late-night hours where I'm truly alone, but no longer lonely. These quiet moments have become sacred to me, moments where I can let my guard down, where there's no need to put on a brave face or pretend that everything is okay. Here, in these moments, I am simply myself, raw and unguarded, and slowly, that version of me is becoming enough. There's a peace that comes with acknowledging the past without feeling trapped by it. Yes, I was hurt, and yes, I felt abandoned, but I am no longer defined by those experiences. They are a part of my story, but they are not the entirety of it. I am so much more than my pain. I am learning to rewrite my narrative, to let go of the weight that I once thought I would carry forever. And as I let go, I find that the world feels a little bit lighter, a little more hopeful. Forgiveness, too, is something I am slowly coming to terms with. Not forgiveness for those who hurt me, but forgiveness for myself, for the moments when I held on too tightly, when I ignored the red flags, when I gave more than I had. I forgive myself for the mistakes I made out of love, out of hope, out of a desire to belong. I see now that these were simply the actions of someone who was doing their best, someone who was learning and growing and finding their way. And in that understanding, I find grace. The journey of solitude has shown me that love, when it's real, doesn't have to mean possession or permanence. Sometimes, love is about learning to let go, to allow things to end without losing the beauty of what they were. I am learning that the end of a relationship doesn't erase its worth, doesn't invalidate the joy or connection it once held. Instead, it becomes a memory, a piece of my past that I carry with gratitude, even if it's tinged with sadness. They'll see the world as it truly is, a place of chaos, a place of darkness, a place where only the strong survive. And they'll realize that they were never as strong as they thought. They were just pretending, just playing a part, just hiding behind a mask. And when the mask finally falls, they'll be left with nothing. No protection, no safety, no security. They think they're strong because they follow the rules, but strength doesn't come from rules. Strength comes from breaking the rules, from shattering the chains, from stepping into the darkness and embracing it. That's what they don't understand. That's what they're too afraid to see. They think they're safe in their little world of order, but order is just another word for stagnation. They think they're alive, but they're not. They're just existing, just going through the motions, just following the path that's been laid out for them. And I'm here to show them a different way, a way that doesn't rely on rules, or walls, or chains. I'm here to show them that true strength comes from chaos, from darkness, from embracing the unknown. But they won't listen. They'll call me mad, call me insane, call me dangerous. But I'm not dangerous. I'm just honest. I see the world for what it truly is, and I refuse to hide from it. I refuse to lie to myself, to pretend, to play by their rules. I am the darkness, the chaos, the truth they're too scared to face. And they hate me for it. They fear me because I remind them of what they really are, because I show them the parts of themselves they've spent their whole lives denying. But one day, they'll have to face it. One day, they'll have to confront the darkness inside themselves. And when they do, they'll see the world the way I do. They'll see the chaos, the madness, the darkness that lies beneath the surface. They'll see that they were never in control, that the rules they followed were just illusions, that the walls they built were just cages. And they'll realize that the only way to be truly free is to embrace the darkness, to let it consume you, to let it become a part of you. And on that day, they'll finally understand. Because you see, the darkness isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace, something to let in, something to become. And then once you do that, once you accept the darkness, the chaos, the madness, you become unstoppable. You become free, unchained, unburdened by the rules and the lies and the illusions they cling to so desperately. They'll tell you that chaos is dangerous, that darkness is something to be avoided. But they're wrong. Chaos is freedom, darkness is power, and once you learn to embrace it, you become invincible. They'll never understand that because they're too afraid. They're too attached to their illusions, too invested in their lies. But I am the darkness, the chaos, the freedom they'll never know. And when they finally see that, when they finally realize that they were living a lie, that they were never really in control, that they were just puppets in a game they didn't understand, it will be too late for them. And I'll be there watching, smiling, knowing that I was right all along. Because I am the darkness, the chaos, the truth they'll spend their whole lives running from. And they can call me mad, call me dangerous, call me whatever they want. But in the end, they'll see that I was right. They'll see that the world is not a place of order, but a place of chaos, a place of darkness, a place where only the strong survive. And I am the strongest of them all, because I have embraced the darkness. Let it consume me. Let it become a part of me. I have become the chaos they fear, the madness they deny, the truth they can't escape. They'll call me many things, but one day, they'll call me free. They'll realize that all their comfort, their safety, their sense of security was nothing more than a mask, a thin veneer they clung to, hiding them from the truth. They thought they were living. They thought they were free, but they were just trapped, prisoners of their own design, bound by their own fears, by their need for validation. They kept themselves in chains, unaware of how small their world had become. And in me, I shattered those chains long ago. I looked into the abyss, embraced the darkness, let it seep into every part of me. Because once you've accepted that there are no rules, that chaos is the only reality, you become truly free. Free from expectations, free from fear, free from the illusion of control they cling to so desperately. They'll tell you to stay in line, to follow the path, to keep your head down. But that path, it only leads to a cage, a life of predictability, of mediocrity, of a dull, safe existence. They want you to believe that's all there is, that safety is worth trading your freedom. But I know better. I've tasted true freedom, and it's worth every risk, every scar, every moment spent in the unknown. You see, once you step outside their lines, once you break the mold, you're a threat. You're unpredictable, a wild card they can't control, and that terrifies them, because they can't understand someone who isn't ruled by fear, by the need to fit in, by the desire for approval. I don't play by their rules, and that makes me dangerous. I'm a reminder of the chaos they're trying so hard to ignore. They'll try to pull you back, tell you you're reckless, that you're going too far, but they don't understand. They've never seen the world as it truly is, a place of infinite possibilities, of boundless chaos, of raw, untamed freedom. They're too scared to let go, to step into the unknown. They think they need their rules, their walls, their order, but all that does, it keeps them small, keeps them weak, keeps them asleep. And I am wide awake. I see the world without the filters, without the illusions, without the comforting lies they cling to so tightly. I see it for the chaos it is, and I revel in it. Because chaos doesn't scare me. Darkness doesn't scare me. I've become one with it, and it's given me a strength they'll never know. They'll never understand what it's like to truly live, to feel every moment with the intensity of fire, to embrace every twist and turn, every victory and failure with open arms. They're too busy trying to stay safe, trying to avoid pain, trying to keep their lives neat and tidy. But life isn't neat, and it sure as hell isn't safe. It's raw, it's wild, it's brutal, and that's what makes it beautiful. They call me mad, but I'm the only one who's truly sane. I see the world as it is, and I refuse to hide from it. I refuse to play their game, to follow their script, to pretend that everything is fine when it's not. I know the darkness, I know the chaos, I know the truth, and it set me free. They'll say I'm a villain, that I'm dangerous, that I'm destructive. But I'm just honest. I'm just willing to face the reality they're so desperate to avoid. I'm willing to be the monster they fear if it means I get to be free. And in their hearts, they know I'm right. They know I'm free in a way they'll never be. Because in the end, it's not about being liked or being safe or being accepted. It's about being alive, about feeling every moment with an intensity that scares them, about embracing the chaos and letting it shape you into something powerful, something unstoppable. They think they're strong because they follow the rules, but rules don't make you strong. Strength comes from breaking the rules, from pushing the boundaries, from stepping into the unknown. They think they can keep me in line, make me follow their path, live by their code, but I don't need their approval, their acceptance, their praise. I am beyond all that. I am free, unchained, unbroken, and they hate me for it. They hate me because I'm a reminder of everything they're too afraid to face, everything they're too scared to admit. And one day, they'll see the truth. They'll realize that all their rules, their order, their control was just a lie. A lie to keep them safe, to keep them blind, to keep them asleep. But by then, it'll be too late. By then, they'll be too deep in their cage, too trapped by their own fears to ever break free. But me, I'll keep laughing, keep dancing in the darkness, keep embracing the chaos that scares them so much. Because I know the truth. I know that life is not meant to be safe, or predictable, or easy. Life is chaos. Life is madness. Life is a beautiful, terrible thing. And I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of what's inside me, or what's inside them. I am the darkness they fear, the chaos they deny, the truth they can't escape. And they can call me whatever they want. Mad, dangerous, insane. It doesn't matter. I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of. I am the thing they'll never be, the one who dared to step into the unknown, to break the chains, to live without fear. And in the end, that's all that matters. So let them cling to their illusions. Let them hide behind their walls. Let them play their games. Because I am beyond all that. I am free, and that terrifies them more than anything. Because deep down, they know that I'm right. They know that their safety is a lie, that their rules are a trap, that their lives are just shadows of what they could be. And when they finally see it, when they finally understand that they were living a lie, that they were never truly free, I'll be there, watching, smiling, knowing that I was right all along. Because I am the chaos, I am the darkness, I am the truth they've been running from their whole lives. And there's nothing they can do to stop me. In the shadows of this world, there's a place where chaos breathes, where pain speaks, and love hides behind heavy veils. It's not for the faint-hearted. You tread softly here, for the ground feels unstable, like it might crumble at any moment. But it's here that true power grows, where all those broken pieces you've carried become the sharpest tools. The world never waits. It presses you down, pulls you in every direction, leaving bruises, scars, and haunting memories. But what if those scars are your strength? What if each bruise is proof of your resilience? Because here's the truth. There's a beauty in being broken. There's a strange comfort in chaos when you realize that the only way out is through. They'll tell you to be gentle, to play it safe. They'll say the world is too harsh, that you need to shield yourself, to avoid pain at all costs. But isn't pain the most honest teacher? It's raw, it's unforgiving, but it's real. It's the fire that forges iron, the struggle that builds strength. Each tear, each heart ache, they become the building blocks of who you are, of who you're meant to be. Love, yes, love is there too. But it's not soft and easy. It's fierce, it's consuming. It's that kind of love that fills the gaps, that mends the broken pieces not with silk thread, but with iron wire. It's the love that defies reason, the love that stands beside you when the world turns its back. Dark and twisted, perhaps, but it's yours. And in that darkness, you find a light like no other, a light that burns fiercely, unyieldingly. You may feel small sometimes, insignificant even. They'll call you a dreamer, a fool. But who are they to judge? They've chosen comfort, safety, and ordinary life. You, on the other hand, you crave something more. You want to tear down walls, to build something that lasts, even if it means leaving a trail of scars. Because you know that greatness isn't born in safety. It's born in chaos. It's birthed from fire. You are not your mistakes, nor your fears. You are the fire that rose from them. You are the dark spark that defies the night. The world may be harsh, unkind, but so are you when you need to be. A joker's smile, a knowing glance, a touch of madness, all tools in the art of survival. You're more than they'll ever understand, a beautiful paradox. So embrace the chaos, welcome the pain, stand tall amidst the storm. Let them call you what they will, for in the end, only you know the depths of your journey, the strength it took to survive. They say only the strong survive. But strength isn't what they think it is. It's not simply muscle or brute force. It's the resilience that's born in the darkest places. It's the courage that stands up after every fall. When the world throws you down, tells you you're not enough, you rise, not in defiance, but in knowing that you have nothing left to lose. That's where true strength is born, in the quiet moments where you refuse to give up. You've felt pain, yes, but pain is a teacher. It's the ruthless, unkind mentor who gives no praise, only lessons. Every scar you bear, every wound that's yet to heal, they are the marks of your survival. And in this chaotic, darkly beautiful world, survival is the highest art. It's the art that requires sacrifice, endurance, and sometimes a bit of madness. And maybe, just maybe, that's what this world needs, a bit of madness. Not the kind that harms, but the kind that breaks free, that rejects the chains society tries to place on you. In every dark corner, there's an opportunity. In every loss, a hidden gain. It's up to you to see it, to feel it, to find the light in the most unlikely places. They tell you to be normal, to fit in. But you know better. Normal is safe, ordinary. It's for those who don't dare to dream. You were born for something more, something grand, something that terrifies those around you. You carry a fire, a spark that can ignite or consume. But that's your power, your gift. It's what sets you apart in a world that seeks to mold you into something small. Love, in its truest form, is just as chaotic. It's not a soft lullaby. It's a wild, fierce thing that battles through the darkest nights. It's not afraid of the pain, of the struggle. It doesn't run from the fire. It feeds it. You love with that intensity. You love as though every moment could be the last, as if the world might vanish in an instant. And maybe that's why you feel it so deeply, because you know love, like everything else, is fleeting. But while it's here, it's everything. And so, you stand on the edge of darkness and light, embracing both. You walk a fine line, unafraid of falling, because you know that even in the depths there's beauty, there's strength. The world doesn't understand it, doesn't understand you. And that's fine. You're not here to be understood. You're here to live, to burn brightly, to leave a mark that cannot be erased. In the end, they'll remember you, not for fitting in, but for standing out, for daring to be different, for embracing the chaos and finding strength in pain. You are the storm, the fire, the chaos they tried to tame, and you are unstoppable. In this life, survival is only half the battle. Thriving, truly thriving, demands something more, something fierce, something that many can't understand. They don't see that your chaos isn't a flaw, but a weapon. They don't know that in the darkest nights, when fear and pain seem insurmountable, you've found a strange kind of peace. It's the peace that comes from knowing you're still here, still breathing, still fighting. You are the warrior in the shadows, the flame that refuses to be snuffed out. This journey isn't for the faint-hearted. There are no handouts here, no easy victories. You know you'll have to claw your way through, sometimes alone, sometimes with nothing but your own will to guide you. It's exhausting, relentless, and yet there's a part of you too that thrives on it. The struggle fuels you. Each challenge sharpens you. Where others falter, you find purpose. Where others see defeat, you see a lesson, a stepping stone, even if it's rough, even if it cuts deep. Your heart has been scarred, no doubt. Love and pain have walked hand in hand, leaving their mark. But those scars, they're not weaknesses. They're symbols of your survival. They are the proof that you've felt deeply, that you've cared, that you've been alive in a way so few truly understand. You loved fiercely, and that means you've been hurt fiercely. But you don't regret it, not for a second. Because love, like chaos, is a force that cannot be tamed. And you were born to feel, to live with intensity, even if it leaves you broken at times. They say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But the truth is, sometimes it doesn't make you stronger right away. Sometimes it just makes you numb, makes you question everything. And that's okay, because even in those moments of doubt, you're still learning, still evolving. You're becoming something more, something resilient. You are the sum of every battle, every heartbreak, every moment you thought you couldn't go on. And yet, here you are. You've learned to wear your darkness like armor. It's not something to hide or deny. It's a part of you, a shadow that dances with your light. Embrace it. Let it be a part of your story, not as a burden, but as a testament to your strength. Because anyone can walk a path lit by sunlight, but it takes a different kind of soul to walk in the dark and find their way. There's beauty in chaos, in the unpredictability of life. You've seen that beauty. You've felt it. It's in the moments that don't make sense, the times when everything seems to fall apart, only to reveal something new, something profound. You've learned that life isn't about perfection. It's about resilience, about holding on when everything seems lost, about finding purpose in the wreckage. And you've become a master of finding meaning in the mess, of creating light out of darkness.